Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News for Saturday, the 16th of December, 2016. I am Sharon Garraway with the headlines. Every person has the right to live in a clean environment free from pests. That's according to Chief Environmental Health Officer Mary James, who says that this is the motto and driving force of his department in the Ministry of Health. James told SVG-TV News that they were very concerned about the prevalence of rats, not just around Kingstown, but across the country. He says he is doing all that they can to control the disease-carrying rodent. The Environment Health Officer notes that there are heavy rainfalls which bring out the rats and vectors. He says increasing such contact with humans thus increases the risk of spreading diseases. James noted that while most persons' homes are generally clean, more than most, the environment around them needs to be cleaned as well.
Kitchen waste or kitchen waste from the zinc, they will be channeled outside of the house. And right where the waste pipe ends, you will tend to find rats living in that spot. So they just come out of their holes, eat their scraps of food, and then go back into their holes. So you may say, but how come I am getting rats and my place is clean? But the scraps of food from your house that goes through the pipe, that is available there on a daily basis. So that means food, shelter, and water is there for them. So obviously they will be there.
The Chief Environment Health Officer recommends that homeowners invest in a grease trap to help minimize the presence of food particles inside and around the house, which he says will help to reduce the likelihood of rats invading one's living space.
Well, it is best for us to actually use grease traps. Okay, so the grease trap in this case will stop grease from actually flowing out of the pipe. It will also stop food from actually flowing out. And so we have a tendency of saying, okay, we use our resources and it flows out of our house, okay, and it leaves our property, so we're no longer responsible. And so we all have to design ways and means to ensure that these scraps of food no longer be out there for the rats to eat.
In relation to capital city Kingstown, James says his division is doing what it can to reduce the presence of rats and other rodents from the area. He, however, pointed out that there are informal structures there hampering the sanitation department's efficiency to clean up the area. The Chief Health Environmental Officer revealed that he is hoping to enter into new consultation with vendors and other stakeholders to come to what he calls to a win-win situation.
It's best for me to start a discussion on the issue so that we will have persons understanding why we need to clean, and then we will have to understand why they need to vent. And then we could come up with what I call a win-win situation. Because as I said previously, we live here and we want to enjoy whatever benefit we could have here. So the best thing for us is to have a stakeholder discussion.
Director of the UWI Open Campus Countryside, Dr. Francis Seven, is reinforcing the need for Caribbean people to embrace what he determines as an independent thought process. Dr. Seven made this pronouncement at the graduation ceremony of 29 graduates of the University of the West Indies UWI Open Campus yesterday at the Methodist Church Hall. The director of the Open Campus Countryside says that if Caribbean countries don't encourage learned persons to be more vocal, there could be implications to development. He, however, announced that the education institution will continue to provide a variety of courses to facilitate the development of the Caribbean civilization.
I believe it is opportune to reiterate that if we, as a Caribbean region, are to make a strong and legitimate claim to civilization, we must maintain a strong and solid university that belongs to us. We must support the philosophy, spirit, and ethos of academic freedom, because if our region does not encourage an independent community of scholars and scholarship with its positive implications for freedom of speech, then that region will not develop new ideas and will forever remain dependent, penniless and mendicant, physically and intellectually speaking.
Dr. Severin pointed out that there are educational institutions being established that have no genuine interest in the development of Caribbean people and their community.
Short-term and knee-jerk moonlighting with fly-by-night organizations that call themselves universities will not benefit our region and our people. To be sure, some of these so-called universities have no genuine interest in our region and in the long term will undermine posterity, aka the future of our children, our own children, but also our very own future in our twilight years. Graduates, you have an important role to play in ensuring that your university remains vibrant and becomes even stronger through joining your local alumni association. If we do not take serious heed and strengthen our university, we shall, as Joshua 9 verse 23 says, and often repeated by former Vice Chancellor Rex Nettleford of blessed memory, we shall never cease being servants, both hewers of wood and drawers of water.
Reaffirming the commitment the RBTT Bank has to aid the overall development of youth here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that financial institution Chief Care Manager Amelia Leah, at the launch of the 2016 Young Leaders Program, noted that the need to provide continuing support to the youth is necessary to achieving great success. Leah said that the evidence exists to show how a number of students have been positively impacted by the program. She also went on to thank various stakeholders for their involvement in making the program a success over the years, noting that it has based on teamwork.
Many graduates of this program have gone on to become leaders in their own right, making positive contributions to the societies in which they belong. We are always encouraged when we receive not only positive feedback, but also see those who participated in the program return to freely give back to its development. It is for us invaluable evidence that their lives are being positively impacted by the program. I would also like to specially mention and express thanks for the outpouring of support from the government through the Ministry of Education. Indeed, RBC Young Leaders is a program with many stakeholders, from parents to teachers, students to communities. And it is the continued involvement of all these stakeholders that will ensure the program's sustainability and success.
According to Leah, it is the aim of the bank to always seek ways to enhance the Young Leaders Program. This year, there will be a few changes and all hopes of creating a greater interest in things being done.
The Teacher's Prize. This will be given to the teacher who is considered to be the best coordinating teacher. The introduction of a fourth place prize. This will be named the Award of Honor. The increased prizes will be given to the most outstanding young leader. The recipient should receive a book voucher and a special certificate in addition to his or her trophy. A championship banner. This banner will be presented to the winning school for placement on an external wall acknowledging the school as the champions. The submission of projects. Projects can now be submitted electronically via email, flash drive, or CD. Support from other students. If Form 5 and/or Form 6 students are supporting the Young Leaders team, they would also receive certificates of participation as well. What we want today is a commitment to continue on the journey to empower, develop, inspire, and lead the young people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What we have is a unique opportunity to capitalize on that commitment and turn it into something tangible for the future. What we expect is nothing less than your earnest support as we work together to shape young lives, strengthen their resolve, and hand them the keys to their future.
Noting that there are still many schools throughout SVG who are yet to get on board with the Young Leaders Program, Coordinator Muriel Fraser said that upon realization how the program has positively impacted the students, it should be equivocally clear why the students should seek to get their schools more into participation. Transitioning from a judge to the program's coordinator, Fraser says this affords her the opportunity to work closer with each school so that they can see the benefits of having the students participate in such a worthwhile program. She also noted that the RBTT program stands committed to the program and with necessary support will work to rekindle local interest.
2014-2015 was a disappointing year as regards the submission of projects for the Young Leaders Program. Only 9 of our 26 secondary schools participated. We must do better in this cycle, and your role as coordinating teachers is of utmost importance to the survival of RBC Young Leaders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. With RBC's announcement of program enhancements and a new theme, this morning's launch of the 2016 Young Leaders Program can be seen as the beginning of the year for the revival of the Young Leaders Program locally.
Stating the objectives of the year's program under the theme, Me, You, We, a shared vision for a better society, Fraser expressed hope for the coordinating teachers to continue to motivate and guide and monitor students in an attempt to raise the standards of the projects. She is also encouraging teachers to create an initiative where they themselves give support to each other.
It is our hope that you have already given thought to the theme and that you are ready to guide the process at your school. We hope too that the workshop will afford you the opportunity to establish contact and to get acquainted with coordinating teachers of other secondary schools. Those of you who are experienced in the implementation of the Young Leaders activities are asked to give support and guidance to the newcomers. The objectives of team effort, collaboration, and pursuit of common goals could also apply to you as coordinating teachers.
A Youth Leaders Conference will be held here next week, Tuesday. The conference, which is coordinated by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank in collaboration with the Financial Information Month partners, will assist in strengthening youth entrepreneurship and leadership initiatives in the region. It will also provide young people with an opportunity to share experiences and network with peers with a trust towards closer OECS integration as a key component of regional development. Addresses are expected to be heard from a number of persons, including the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Youth, Sports, Culture in St. Kitts and Nevis, Sean Richards, Grenada's Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Religious Affairs, Senator Winston Garraway, CEO of the LEAP and ACE Counseling, Genevieve Hanley of St. Kitts, and Creative Director of Aqua GD Grenada, Nigel Martin. And Vincentian, of course, Kemia Glasgow of CEO Kemia Glasgow Designs Inc., among others. The conference will be held at the ECCB Agency Office in Capital City Kingstown from 9 a.m. on Tuesday, 19th January 2016. Anyone can minister to the poor, lame, outcast, and hungry, but Christian ministers cannot be authentic unless it has its source in Jesus Christ centered in worship. Words from the Right Reverend Leopold Friday, Bishop of the Windward Islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well, as he delivered the homily at the funeral service of the late Reverend Patrick McIntosh, who was laid to rest yesterday. Bishop Friday says that the late Father McIntosh was a clear proclamation of this cause and says that the priests should aspire to be the same.
My brothers and sisters in Christ, the challenge is for you and for me. All are gifted by God to Jesus Christ. Patrick Ezekiel saw the light and responded in faith. What is your response?
The bishop says, as a man of God, one should not reject God's calling, for it is an obligation to fully respond and serve in faith.
I challenge you to respond fully, but some may be called to the ordained ministry. I call you to give your life. Give your life, offer your life in response to God's call, in response to God gifting you to Jesus Christ. Offer your life to God and the church as a holy priest.